The story in this first round is will Denver be able to reclaim their form from a month ago as they try to get toward also a make or break run in this playoffs?
I have a funny feeling about Denver. I've heard a lot of things, the other way. I'm a little shocked at, what their odds are to win the title at this point. I mean, I think they're 400 to 1 odds at this point. Um, I think they have a chip on their shoulder. I think the X factor for the Nuggets is Michael Porter Jr. You've seen, Jokic is partially a system player, and he needs to run the system, and the system needs to be running for him to be the most effective. But when it comes to playoff time, you need someone out there on a team who can just flat out make shots, make tough shots, get on a heater. And I've seen some indications from Michael Porter Jr. this year that he's got a chip on his shoulder. He sees himself as more of a superstar than he's given credit for. And I think he's a strange X factor for the Nuggets going into this. And if we see any kind of MPJ coming out party in these playoffs, I think with the way the West looks and how open it is, I do still think they have a real chance. And I don't put them, as fourth or fifth as a lot of the prognosticators have them right now. I do think they obviously have some serious problems with their bench. They don't trust a lot of people. Zeke Najee's back. That helps a little bit. At least you keep DeAndre Jordan, Thomas Bryant on the bench. But the Nuggets have problems. I don't see them not getting through either the Timberwolves or OKC, who gets through there. But, long term for this playoffs, I'm curious about how they come out in this first series and the way that, specifically the way Porter is going to look. And that will give me an indication of how far they can go, I think.
The problem with Porter here, right, is that he almost needs to have number two shot opportunities, because when was the best we saw Michael Porter Jr. when Jamal Murray was out and him and Nikola Jokic play that 2-man game. You get Jamal Murray back in there, he needs to get into that 3 role for the scoring. And also at time his defense has been suspect, which is something that he's very much trying to been improving as later on in the season. But I don't know when Michael Malone is going to have to try to get him in and get him out to try to get his shot creation. It just that's for me where Denver is going to have to figure things out.
Well, I think that's kind of brings up the point of what I brought up earlier is you get to a playoff series like this, there are going to be times when they're so focused in the other guys that someone just has to be someone you can hand the ball to and they go make their own shot. With his size, with his athleticism, the way he can shoot from the outside, I think he's the guy on that team who's going to be tasked with doing that. And that's where I think he's such an important X factor for the Nuggets.
Plus side, you have a third star. Downside, you have a guy that wants to be there, but he may not get the opportunity. So
and credit to them. They shut down Jamal Murray last year. Yeah. To get him healthy for the season, and he's healthy for the season. Yeah. He's healthy for the playoffs. So, that's also a huge X factor and someone who has shown themselves to be a gamer,